Tell me once again.
Harley better.
The message behind Africa or behind any of these pieces is that people sometimes don't have the opportunity that we have, and maybe they should be able to at least have the means of getting water without having to walk miles and miles into the wild. And they should have the means to go into a hospital, and these basic hygiene issues that we find when we travel. I believe they shouldn't have to exist anymore. With the whole world being conscious about it, I think we can fix these little differences that will make a much nicer, bigger world and easier for everybody, to appreciate.
What do we have?
Correct.
Now.
Correct, what we have. Because sometimes we have a lot, but we don't think about that because it's already given. But when you travel overseas and you see people that don't have the basic things that we give for granted, it makes me reflect about how could we do something for the other ones? How can we build a better place? How can we heal?
We can survive and can't survive whole people. We can and can't. It's like we can help, but we can't help to everybody because you're only one by
Correct.
yourself. I'm only one by myself. But together we can do more.
I absolutely believe in what you just said. Togetherness, it's a big, important move. When people get together, better things and bigger things come out. So I can only paint so much, but I can only hope that people ask me just like you're asking, why did you paint something like this? And why did you create all the colors? And why did you get all this attention into a simple animal? And the truth is that behind this animal, it's, to me, the idea of a whole country, continent, and basically that's what it represents in my mind every time I look at it, is how could these people benefit from what I do, and how could their culture and country get better, and I try to express just in simple words, we all need help, but some people need more help than others. Lamborghini vistas and views, but in reality it's interchangeable, so you can have different cars. So if you were a Ferrari guy, you can do Ferraris, so we can remove those plates and bring Ferrari's images, but if you like Bentley, we can put Bentley. If you like Mustang, we can do different views and I can paint on it and I can create, with the same base as the foundation of the sculpture, we can actually create a new piece of artwork because we're changing. And if you get bored over time and you change cars, like life happens, so this is a sculpture that you can actually do that. You can remove it and bring a different new piece of artwork. So it's a very cool piece. It's aluminum with copper and it's a light sculpture, I call it, but it's pretty big in size. It's about 70 inches by 20 inches and it's not that heavy at all. It's like a history about Harleys originated with the United States having the need of having a machinery during wartime, and that's why Harleys back then were heavy duty and they were used all over the world for basically transporting, or sending information on heavy terrains, and I appreciate Harleys a lot. But the one bike also that I like, there was the one that I was telling you about, the AJ7, which is from the UK, I also like because it's just much simpler and it's a racing bike.
That's exactly.
So back then, you know, in the 40s, when they raced those bikes, first of all, it was very hard to maneuver, and just to go fast at a high speed, pretty much with no suspension.
I think every guy wants to go high speed.
Correct. But imagine high
Whatever you
speed
drive.
with no technology. That to me is the remarkable, and it shows the real skills of the drivers. And I like going back sometimes to when life was simpler and easier, you know, and not so complicated. Just a kick, you know, punching the shifting and keep going. You know, you were back then the body of the bike, and you were, you know, all that vibration and all the wind in your face reminds you of being alive. You know, but I think you know, like just
I like that one.
just resuming everything, you know, I think Harley, the spirit of it, the American spirit and the you know, British spirit, I think, believe it or not, it's a very similar outcome. Because with both of them, you're going to feel free and wild.
Yep. The only reason why I got into bikes is because that one movie, his motorcycle to the skeleton one. You never heard of
with
that?
Nicolas Cage.
Yep, there you go.
I like that. I have a creative process that allows me to work only when I'm inspired. So when I get inspired, that's when the art happens. Not just because I gotta do something. I never work because I gotta do something. So what did I think about when I was creating this piece? It felt connection with the ocean. I love the ocean, so I saw nature. I saw positive colors, blue, yellows, and all interacting together in the bottom as one, like unity. That's why you have all these different characters in the actual painting that I invented, created. As a matter of fact, people ask me, how do you get ideas for your characters? It just happens with the splash of the paint, the way that I was doing this, creating this, that allows me to express, you know, freely, but the splash of the paint, that made me think of the ocean. I'm going to change the batteries though, so it shines, glows a little bit nicer, brighter.
Get it up here.
We'll break it in pieces, and then we'll break it, we'll put it together.
Have fun bringing the whole frame of
Imagine that.
in one place.
We'll have to open this whole window.
I love that piece of art. Why?
So, what I understood by this art piece, we are always going to get to the point of death, because our lives, since the moment that we are born, are going to become to an end. And we're always constantly worried about death. We're always thinking about being careful and not sometimes enjoying and living life because we might die. If there is something guaranteed in life, it's going to be death.
Yeah.
So when I look into this mirror, I see fun, and I see a reminder that you have to live life to the fullest capacity every day. So when I look in front of the mirror and I see this, it's death looking directly at me. And what I mean by this piece is screw death. Let me enjoy and live life. Let me not always be thinking about death. Let me be thinking about living. And it's very hard with this pandemic happening because I feel the pandemic and Corona, it froze the whole world. And people, they're still dying. It didn't stop people from dying that you only, stayed at home and did not, interact with anybody else. It helps to a certain extent. And it's good that we are careful, but it's also good that, we are proactive and we keep our minds active. And by that, I don't mean just creating an art piece. I mean going out, having a conversation, creating an interview like you're doing, working on your TV channel, which is very important, and nourish your soul from within. It's very important, at least to me as an artist, to absorb all this great energy and to learn new trends, new techniques, even though, there's multiple elements that you won't be able to do all at once because it requires a lifetime. But at least if you are out there, you could learn about it and you can enjoy life a little bit more. And always be careful, just try to listen, try to learn, try to be educated so you can live a normal life, with some extent of precautions without being over, the limit of, precautions and not coming out ever,
What is that?
So basically, this is a ornate, like a Marie Antoinette, because of the style of the mirror, because it's very old and thick piece of mirror. I included a painting in the actual mirror, and then I also try to put like a few small accents into the painting. And this beautiful mirror I'm painting, it's also going to be glowing and changing colors with different lights as well. Do you want me to throw in my jacket? Details. I try not to, do wearable art as well. So, it's not just something that it looks good on the wall, but it's something that it looks correct. So I took like a vintage piece from Dolce & Gabbana and I altered and customized it to my needs. And the reason why I put what I put in the back is because I love motorcycles. And this one, it's a very old motorcycle from the year 46. That's about it. So I want always to be reminded that, the day that I find that beautiful bike, I'm going to be wearing this specific jacket all the time. Every time I come out with that bike, which is a British bike, the one that I like. And basically, Dolce & Gabbana was my jacket. So I altered the piece just because I thought it was proper.
Your favorite art piece here?
So that's going to be a hard trigger question.
I know, it's always history for every piece.
Correct. So I gotta tell you that I've done different pieces at different times, and I couldn't tell you one specific piece that it's my favorite. I have a couple of favorite ones, and the reason why they became favorite ones sometimes is because I noticed there's something unique, different about it.
Tell me please about this great piece of love.
When you see the word love, it will resonate within your being, within your mind, brain, body, and it will make you stop and reflect about what love means, about the people you love, about maybe the people that you didn't have the chance to love that you wanted it to love. So it will help thinking about it, reflecting about it. So that's why I want just sometimes the message to be simple, because when you throw out there a simple message, it's easy to get what's behind the art piece, and that's why I wrote love. Just a simple word. When I create this painting, for instance, and I work also for this brand, Moschino, I used to model for them. So I took a couple of their garments and pieces that I earned by working for them, and I included them in the actual print, such as a belt buckle, little accessories from Moschino, little parts of jeans such as buttons, and basically I created an interactive piece with little pins so we can hang little messages and say the words I love you, I miss you, I want to see you later, I want to have lunch with you. And once people get a piece like this, they get to discover little messages such as action against hunger. So that is the true real meaning behind every single art piece. You know, when we have the comfort of beautiful things such as nice clothing, nice hats, nice shoes, maybe in a country that is far away from us, someone doesn't have a meal. Very important that we have, you know, we are aware that this happens more than often. And this one also,
So is that
when women they get abused,
One more time.
it means I am being loved, you know? And again, it goes with a simple message, you know, in a different language.
Women who being in this?
Yeah, so it says soy amada, it means I'm being loved in Spanish. And there are many different languages that I understand and I speak. Again, it shouldn't even matter because it's about the universal language of love. That's like a big heart. So basically, when I went to Africa, I wanted to capture all these animals in the wild, but I didn't want to bother them. So what happened was we ended up going very, very deep into the jungle and into the wild, and we discovered a lot of beautiful animals.